Hello, Alma here. It's AlmasRecipes, and today we are going to make carne guisada con papas. Thank you, Lucy, for requesting this recipe. Let's begin. You'll need 2 pounds of milanesa steak. Also, another meat you can use is beef shank steak. I usually like to use milanesa because it has less fat. You'll need 4 potatoes, 4 tomatoes, 3 garlic cloves, half an onion, 3 tablespoons of oil, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1/4 a teaspoon of whole cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of whole black pepper. Finally, you need a blender and a pot with the lid. First, I'm gonna cut all my ingredients. I'm gonna start with my tomatoes. Make sure you wash it before. So we're gonna cut like in small pieces, not too small because we are going to fry. So I always like to cut it in half. It's easy. Just do this. Remember, we take this part and every tomato. With this part we don't use it. Cut it in half. And then just do this. We only gonna cut 3 tomatoes, and we are going to leave 1 whole so we can blender in our blender with our garlic. Moving on to the onions, so we are going to cut it in half. After cutting in half, we're gonna cut this much, and I'm only going to use 1/4 onion, and I'm going to peel it. I'm gonna chop this part. Next, we can prepare a mixture in the blender. I already peeled my garlic, 3 medium garlic. I'm gonna put it in there, and I'm gonna put my tomato, just the same. Cut it a couple pieces. You don't need to chop it too small. So we're going to blender. So, and the reason we do that is because we are going to put our cumin and our pepper, the whole pepper. And we are going to put our onions. You don't need to cut it too small, so we put that in there. I have already here my cumins and my black pepper, whole cumins. I'm just gonna put it in there. And we can add 1 tablespoon of salt. And the last thing, we can add 1 cup of water. Now I'm gonna blend all my seasonings. Next, we're gonna cut the meat. We're just gonna do this. We are gonna cut the meat in little pieces, little squares. And if your meat has a little fat, you can take it or you can leave it. I'm gonna just take it out. This is how my meat looks after I cut it. We're gonna move it now to preheat my pot. I am going to use the flame high heat. We are going to add 3 tablespoons of oil. So there is 1, there is 2, and there is 3. I'm gonna let my oil heat for like 2 or 3 minutes, and from there we can add the tomatoes. Okay, this is a trick. It can be 1 minute or 2 minutes. You start smelling the oil when it turns hot. And I'm gonna lower the heat because I don't want it to burn all over me. So when you can smell the oil and look it close, so that's the oil is ready. And we are going to add the onions. In here seasoning. We're gonna stir the onions for a little bit. We're gonna let it for maybe for like a minute. From there, we are going to add the tomato. After I put my tomato and my onions together, I'm gonna let it cook for 10 minutes, and you're gonna be stirring several times. This is how it looks now. So what we want it to do is to come very soft. Okay, my tomatoes and onions have been cooking for 10 minutes. So make sure you wash it. You don't want to just leave it there for 10 minutes. You want to keep stirring it until it looks like that. You see? And it's about 10 minutes already. So now it's time to add the meat. Now we are going to stir it a few times. I'm gonna let it cook for 10 minutes, and in the meantime I'm gonna just keep washing and stirring a couple times. been 10 minutes and I'm gonna add my tomato and my seasonings. And we cannot leave it like that, so we are going to let it cook for another 20 minutes. Now we don't need to stir it all the time, so we just leave it like that. In the meantime, we are going to cut our potatoes. We are moving to peeling our potatoes. When you go into the store and buy potatoes, some are really small and some are really big, so trying to buy 4 medium potatoes, not too big but also not too small. This is our white potatoes. I guess you can use any potato you would like, but I've been using white potatoes for the recipe. Tastes pretty good. Next, we are going to cut the potatoes, and that is how I do it. Cut half, then we're gonna cut the half. And then we can cut in half. Then we can blender this way. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna put my knife between. And then we're going to cut it like that. This one, I'm gonna cut it like that. Grab it like that. Put my knife in the middle. Just check it a couple times, just stir a few times. You don't need to do the whole time, just once in a while. Now my meat has been cooking for 20 minutes and I'm going to add the potatoes. I'm gonna stir it. We're gonna let it bring back to boil. Okay, the potatoes been here like 2 minutes. It should be warm enough, so I'm gonna cover it now. And I'm going to let it cook for another 30 minutes and I'm gonna lower my heat. I'm gonna be back in 30 minutes, but once in a while come and check and stir it. My meat has been cooking for 30 minutes, my potatoes. This recipe, the long it takes is like 1 hour and 10 minutes because first you cook the meat and then you cook the potatoes. So a process from the beginning to end like 1 hour and 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I usually chop everything as I'm cooking, so it takes less time. To this point, I'm gonna turn off my stove and it's ready to eat. I hope you enjoy. That's it for this recipe. I hope you try. It's really good. Well, this is something simple, very easy, so easy and really yummy. You can eat it with beans. You can make a burrito, or you can just make a plate with beans and rice and that, and it's really good. Hopefully you try and see you next time.